Let's first take a look at an in-depth scenario in the HR space. I'm a hiring manager looking for candidates for the associate marketing position. In this case, I want to use Copilot to help me review applications that have come in and also to create some questions that are appropriate for the candidates who have applied. I'll start with my first prompt. I will tell Copilot what I'm trying to do. I'm interviewing candidates for the marketing associate position. I'm asking it to summarize what I need to look for based on the job ad for this position. As we see in the response, Copilot found the ad that was saved in our system and gave me a summary. To check if Copilot was referencing the correct document, I can check the sources. I can click on the link here, and the document is opened in the Therefore system. In this way, I know that the information was extracted from the correct document. Next, I'll ask Copilot to review and summarize the applications that we already have in our system. We see that there are 4 applications that have come in from different candidates. If we check our sources, we can also see which ones exactly have come in. If I want to click on any of these, I can simply open them here. And this has opened the application for this candidate. And I can check the others as well for the other candidates, depending on whose application I'd like to review. I'm now going to choose to focus on one candidate. And I'm going to ask Copilot to summarize how the candidate Emily Carter matches the required qualifications. Copilot has created a table that shows me how her qualifications match, what are some additional strengths in her applications, and what are her qualifications in terms of professional development. I'll now ask Copilot to draft a list of interview questions tailored to this candidate's application. I'm asking Copilot to use a professional but approachable tone in its questions. I can see that Copilot has come up with many questions here. If I want to be sure that it's referencing the correct information, as before, I can look at my Sources tab, click here, and I can see that indeed it has referenced Emily Carter's application. You can also go beyond this. For example, I'm now asking Copilot to create a general rubric for scoring candidates based on the job ad for this position. I now have a scoring rubric I can use to evaluate candidates for this position. Of course, I can copy the rubric into another document, such as a Word document, and use that during the interview. Let's take a look at a more casual scenario in the HR space. I'm a regular employee of Moyaware, and I want to take some time off. I'm going to ask Copilot about information regarding time off and how I can request it. I use Teams a lot, so I'm using Copilot within Teams. If configured by your administrator, you can access the Therefore connection with Copilot from many different Copilot interfaces, including the browser, Teams, or the Copilot app. I'll first inform Copilot that I want to take some time off and ask it what our vacation policy says. I have a summary here of the information I need to know. I can always check the document by opening it here. It will open in a browser, and here is the document it is referencing, which is the Moyaware vacation policy. I see here that I need to notify a department contact, but it's not listed. I'll ask a clarifying question. I now understand who I need to contact for this request. I'll ask Copilot to draft this message for me so I can email my supervisor. Now I can just copy this message into an email and be on my way. In this scenario, I'm playing the role of an operations manager who wants to review contracts with our current service providers. I'm using the Copilot app in Windows. If configured by an administrator, the Therefore integration can be used with many Copilot interfaces, such as the app, a browser, Teams, and more. I'll start with my first prompt to Copilot. I'm first telling Copilot what I plan to do. I need to review our services agreements with the company called Trust Us IT. And I'm telling it to focus the rest of the conversation on the last 2 agreements we had with them from 2024 and 2025. As you can see in the response, Copilot has referenced both documents. I can click on these to review them in the Therefore web client if needed. The service agreements are pulled up. Now we've identified these 2, so let's continue. The first thing I want to know is, what are the differences between these 2 agreements? I can see there are some differences between these 2. I need to prepare this list to present to management, so I'll give Copilot the next prompt. I'm asking it to prepare a summary of differences as a bulleted list and include a summary of the expected impact of these changes. After seeing this message, I'm thinking about something else. I'm now thinking about next year's contract and how we can renegotiate to gain more favorable conditions. I can ask Copilot to review the last agreement that we had and come up with some ideas for things that we could renegotiate with Trust Us IT. As you can see, quite a few suggestions have been made. I'm now going to ask Copilot to put both the summarized list in the previous response and the renegotiation suggestions together into a professional email that I will send to senior management. There are other options that Copilot offers. For example, I can format this email into a briefing document or create a presentation deck based on this summary. There are many options available to make use of the information within the Therefore system.